I misspoke on one of my videos and it dawned on me after and I meant to correct it. I believe I said Joshua Williamson would be working on Transformers and I meant to say he will be working on Iron Man. Now, I didn't know much about Joshua Williamson, full disclosure, but after reading Batman Knightfight #1, I have to say, I am actually incredibly excited to see what he does with Iron Man. I haven't read Iron Man. Ooh, it's been a while. I picked up an Iron Man book a while ago, but I haven't really. Nothing has really piqued my interest that much in Iron Man. Seeing this has me definitely more excited about what he's gonna do with the script on Iron Man. Dan Mora brought his A game, as was to be expected, to Batman Knightfight #1. I'm not going to go through all of the panels, and I'll try not to get into too much spoiler territory, but I can't promise you that the articles won't, so I just give you fair warning if you haven't read it. So I wanted to show you this panel. This right here is my favorite panel in this book. Yes, I bought a digital copy. I prefer physical copies, but I didn't get around to getting to my local comic shop, so I just bought this digital copy, and I'll probably pick up a physical copy as soon as I can because that's what I prefer. But I do like the ability to do this. And again, this is my favorite panel. The colors on this, immaculate. Artwork, line work, immaculate. I like this right here. And the whole book is like this. The action sequences, you can almost feel them. It feels like cinema. I love when I read a comic book that has action and it's done in such a way that it feels like a movie. Okay, so what I want to do is, I just wanted to show that panel. I want to get to these articles from, let's see, comicbookroundup.com. And the reason, watch is going off. The reason I like doing this is you get a look into what others think of the book. And I like to compare the top score and the lowest score to see where I'm at. If I agree, which camp I fall in. Is the lowest score correct, or do I believe the top score is correct? So we'll read this first one. This is from AIPT Comics.com, and this is written by Michael Guerrero. DC K.O. Knightfight #1 is the fair fight we've always wanted. Are you ready to rumble, true believers? The showdown we've all been waiting for is finally here. Bruce Wayne versus Dick Grayson. Now, the pair squared off a few times, but a good number of them were clearly meant to prop up Bruce's prowess by having him win against an equally skilled fighter. The last time they fought wasn't too long ago in Batman #138 by Chip Zdarsky and Jorge Jimenez. There, Bruce only won because Robin holding Nightwing because of Robin holding Nightwing back at the end. Otherwise, that fight was about to be wrapped up with the prodigal son surpassing his father, hence proving his skills is on par with Bruce. However, it seems the two are set to fight once more, but with a twist. And this book definitely has some twists and turns that I do appreciate. And like I said, the fight scenes at the end were very fluid and felt like I was actually watching a movie or a cartoon. The version of Dick Grayson that Bruce is about to face off against isn't Nightwing. He's become Batman, a better Batman. With Bruce Wayne seemingly dying during DC K.O. #1, it seems Batman has a chance at rebirth if he can survive a round-robin tournament against his legacy. Future versions of Dick Grayson, Jason Todd, Tim Drake, and Damian Wayne, after they become Batman, In DC K.O. Knightfight #1, writer Joshua Williamson and artist Dan Mora open up this series with a stunning issue full of action, drama, and extraordinary art that is sure to pique the interest of many Batman fans through this fun concept that pits Batman against his sons. I want to say I agree with that. It's a fun book. It's a fun book that even if you didn't read DC KO #1, I don't think you would be lost in this book. I think Joshua Williamson did a very good job of giving you just enough information that if you didn't read the book, you kind of feel like you read it, or at least you're familiar with what's going on. The issue opens up with a nostalgic memory that helps remind readers how much time has passed in the DC universe. Bruce is getting old, and his family will always be there to help out. Outside of this sweet moment, the rest of the issue feels like an episode of The Twilight Zone. For once, Bruce knows as much as we do about what's going on. Actually, we might even know more than him. While I was a bit hesitant to see how Williamson would turn this miniseries into something worth picking up, this issue immediately felt like a love letter to the Batfamily rather than being another cash grab. Turns out, simply having Batman fight Dick Grayson, Tim, and Damian's future selves without ruining the already fragile relationship Bruce has tried to maintain with his sons. Take notes. Other books with similar concepts makes for quite the fun read. Seeing Bruce use his detective and combat skills in this issue works as a great showing of how knowledgeable Williamson is regarding Batman and his overarching mythos. As a whole, the issue combines a lot of key elements of Batman into an enjoyable, roundabout way of having Batman fight his greatest success without ruining their relationship. And this was definitely a good way to do it without doing something that would like break the continuity of the comic book. And I enjoyed it very much. So I'm not going to read the rest of this article. I'll post links to this, or I'll at least post a link to the Comic Book Roundup, and you can, go there and check these articles out. So that was, did I have both the articles I was going to read up? I might have. So the next one I'm going to read is from this right here, Lyles Movie Files. Never heard of the site. Written by Jeffrey Lyles. And his is short, so I kind of like this, a little shorter. Knightfight, and he gave it an 8.5, by the way. Knightfight marks the first Batman tie-in for the DC Fall-Winter event. Part of the rules of KO, when a fighter is killed in battle, they immediately get transported out of the arena and placed in a statue. And I knew when I read DC KO #1, and I think I mentioned this, I knew if you kill Batman as soon as a book begins, then I know Batman is not really dead. Like, there's no way you take Batman out that easily. He's too methodical. You just can't do that. Naturally, Batman had a plan B for whenever he lost a fight. Writer Joshua Williamson does a solid job explaining how Batman is still in the fight and how his actions could potentially aid his fellow heroes in stopping Darkseid once and for all. To his surprise, Batman returns to an unfamiliar Gotham populated by scores of Robins trained under the leadership of Dick Grayson. This Grayson chalks up Batman's ravings as that of a crazy person and is worried if he doesn't stop Batman this time, there won't be any saving grace to his mentor. Dan Mora provides the art for this issue, ensuring that the first KO salvo looks stellar. Few artists can match Mora's sense of intense action and high-stakes emotion. Triona Farrell's colors work work seriously, pops to show this Gotham is just as lively in the new environment. Not every DC K.O. book is going to be as enjoyable, so the best bet at retail is to grab this one. It's stellar, creative team, are detailed in to ensure this miniseries won't be easily forgotten. 8.5 out of 10. So between this 8.5 and the 10, the book isn't perfect. There's very few books that I think deserve a 10, but they do exist. There are books. I would say, man, I'm going to say that Daniel Warren Johnson Transformers issue 1 through 5, that trade paperback that I bought. Ooh, if it's not a 10, it is really close. Like, everything about that story was magnificent. The art, incredible, matched the story. The flow of the art in the story, everything about it just had me completely wrapped and ready to read that whole thing, and I did in one sitting. This book was similar, but I don't know. Issue 2 will kind of tell me the story, if that makes sense. And I have every reason to believe Joshua Williamson will keep up what he did in issue number 1 and issue number 2. And I have no reason to doubt that Dan Mora is going to bring his A game. I know he's going to bring it, so the art is definitely going to be good. So out of both of these, 10 and 8.5, I think an 8.5 is a valid score for this one. I think 8.5 for me says that this is one of the more solid books, and probably a book you don't want to go without picking up. I thoroughly enjoyed reading this.